Public scrutiny involves complete criminal harassment and complete where individuals and their families are actually incarcerated and fully controlled by whoever is driving their circumstance. The problem is you don't know who it is. It can be anybody, regardless if it is a government agency or an organisation. It could be anybody, and that is their predicament. So if you don't know how to protect yourself to stop that from happening, you will be at high risk of losing your liberty and losing everything you own, even your life. You've been watching me on my Facebook page. There's a good example of a clip that's actually on my page where there's a big truck that drove along the motorway into a crowd of people on both sides of the road, and he drove on the road, but the crowd of people were on the side of the road. There was heaps of people, and it was quite visible that the crowd was a hostile group of people. So it was definitely a hostile alliance, and unfortunately there were probably the one or two people that was quite obviously hurt or lost their lives in that little incident. That is, I kept that on my page because I thought it was a perfect example of what you would go through if you lost your privacy and then you were attacked in every area of your life. It's like a silent avalanche, and you do go down on a downhill spiral financially, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. The other disadvantage that I found is when you're blocked or blacklisted, a part of going downhill is that none of the complaints work at all because it's already been contaminated by the opposition, whose motive and intention is to destroy and to take over your personal space.
Hi everyone. Obviously my case is a home invasion case. So basically that is what the evidence revealed personally, like publicly and within my private space and legally in the courts. So we're dealing with a home invasion case. Okay, we're also dealing with its organised crimes. It's different corporate bodies or secret societies operating by cohesion, by breaking every single law in the book. So we're dealing with indirect secret societies secretly already embedded in your personal space, so you can walk around minding your own business, but your environment is actually not safe. Like your environment, you are in an environment where you are an easy target, and other people are criminally grooming other people in your space to either act out their motive and intent. But we're dealing with malice and hostility, people with rage. It's linked to all the relationship scams historically to do with what I've gone through. Unfortunately, the reality was that when I was working for my employer, the Ministry of Justice at Waitakere District Court, I was already in an environment that was hostile and dangerous, and basically just a sitting duck, minding my own business, going about doing what I was doing like I am still today. And then my environment was already contaminated by people conspiring secretly, studying me, spying, being an informant and repeating my private activities while I'm at work. But little did I know at that time that once they had retrieved and studied me under the cameras and recording me without my consent, and all the rest of it. They were actually had incited me and turned me into like a product and incited me globally, encoded me, and I didn't really realize I was being coded until I was pushed out of my job, and then I started doing what I'm doing with my YouTube channel as a form of not only my YouTube channel, my Facebook page is an exhibit for my court cases and my testimony, but it was also a way of getting some intervention, because I knew what I was going through is beyond me, and I'm actually really lucky to be alive today. So what we're dealing with is personality and emotions. This is the New Age system, and it links to the way the court is set out at the moment. So don't take anything I say lightly, and I'm not the type of person that has a sense of humour and playing games with people's liberty and hurting them and abusing them indirectly or directly. Okay, so basically I'm just exposing the tactics or the criminal tactics of these secret societies. They are breaking the law. They're a law to themselves. It's just a matter of building a case against what they're doing to you, proving that they've caused you damage, harm, and anything that may be a serious violation of your human rights and Bill of Rights and any other laws that protects a civilian, their civil rights, from being contaminated or personally taken over by secret societies without consent. Okay, I didn't really realize this going back when the breaches took place. If you've been watching me and following me, little did I know that the other foreign powers globally, like agents, like I didn't know. This is even before the system officially transitioned the way it is now. Okay, it's really serious. It's quite dangerous, and I've been like traumatized, and just basically just the reality of what I have gone through personally, just coming to terms of how serious what I've been through. It's just been overwhelmingly just a miracle, a real miracle that I'm still here today talking about what I'm going through. However, I do know I am supposed to be doing this. This is the New Age system, though. I'm old school. I do everything myself personally. I'm super independent and sufficient. That is just me. I've always been independent individual because of circumstances, and that is my personality. But today I'm just going to go over a few things, and then I will update you with my court case and where we're at the moment, because I know everyone is watching me, and I know that what I'm going through on the social media is working, and I feel God is definitely intervening for me, and things are getting a little bit better slowly, but I just feel in my heart that I cannot give up. No matter how painful things get and difficult things get, I just know God will intervene and have the last say in everything that I do, because I know I'm supposed to be doing what I'm doing. Okay, I can actually confirm 100% it is an illegal Commonwealth game. Okay, basically, historically, I can prove in my personal property that different religions and different extremist cultures have taken over or have conspired secretly, taking turns to take me down slowly. Okay, personally, slowly and personally, and they've been able to do what they've done, like the hostile takeover and everything, just by inciting and coding. So if you've been following me on Facebook, I've been denouncing any ads that I see that is in relation to the scam. It is to do with the substitutes versus me. This is where the relationship scam comes in. But it's been a global game, illegal Commonwealth game. For me, I'm overwhelmed with the fact of the reality is how many people globally have conspired secretly and personally attack me and steal or gradually stealing or use me to promote their culture or their country without my consent. To them, I'm the opponent. They've turned me into like a product. So you can't look at what my situation like a normal person would look at. They've treated me like a product, so everything, the inciting and everything that the secret societies are doing in a way of coding and criminal tactic or their strategy to conspire against me to stop me from going forward or sabotage or just any information to give them the upper hand. So basically they've used me like a product, and these countries, yes, I'm talking about countries, these states globally are inciting with those within my government, and that is their criminal strategy or their criminal tactics. They hide behind their corporate businesses. So that is what I'm up to, and I have to describe, I'm the victim of what they're doing to me. So I'm just describing my environment and my experience, linking everything to my court cases, to the laws, and what they've been using me for personally. Yes, I'm fighting for my liberty. I'm actually fighting for my life. Things are gradually getting better, but I'm just going through the format of this new age system. And for me, I feel it's set out where I will never, to the opponent, I will never progress, I will never be set free. Their intention is to eliminate is to eliminate myself, so I never can go back. So the system is set out that they do their illegal projects on humans like they've done to me. It's a dehumanizing a human being, basically, and that is what my case is. It's home invasion. It's I'm lucky to even make it this far and understand why even the laws are the way they were before they transition to this, where they've centralized everything. All it's done is just endanger different communities. It's endangered those that are oblivious to criminal tactics or is oblivious to the laws that protects them. So it actually it's a danger to those that knows nothing about how the government system works and what it actually means, or even how they can actually go about saving their own property or protecting themselves as an individual and their own families. If you've been following me on my social media and my other video clips, I think everyone gets the picture of what is anime or inanimate is. So yes, I've been animated or inanimate secretly for a very long time. So my environment is contaminated. It's easy for me to know if somebody is a real person, like natural. We're talking about natural justice and not natural. So when your environment is not natural, that means your environment is contaminated by other people monitoring and surveillancing you. The problem is you don't know who it is. So don't take anything I say lightly. It's the kind of thing where you just wake up one day and like you've lost everything, or you don't understand why things are the way they are in your personal space, or maybe you're even going through where you're being declined and everything's just not going your way. Read your circumstances correctly, because it's very likely you are being targeted and you don't know how advanced your set of circumstances by those that are targeting you. Unfortunately, the New Zealand police are not how they used to be. They're all part of it. So that's what I've been up against. It's been internal corruption for a very long period of time, and now I'm within my right to fight the system or oppose the system, and do what I'm doing. But it's definitely, the intimacy is unlawful. The intimacy where they're glued to somebody's soul. So my case is a very serious case of being used like a product, and then they all play Space Invaders with my soul, with my love life, and I believe it's also the cause of why people commit suicide. Okay, guys, so I'm dealing with racial discrimination, people with ill will. I'm dealing with ill humor, people who are who are actually purposely, they despise you, they hate everything about you. So these people are using tactics that are ill will, and it comes out on the social media, on anything misuse devices. They can't hide it. It's quite obvious. Okay, so I'm dealing with the racial disharmony, the tactics of our leaders. What they've been doing is so bad. Like the breaches that have caused the home invasion in my life is so advanced, meaning that anyone can be lured into this and not really realizing that they've been used for a tactic, global inciting tactic, but basically it's so advanced, and the deception is so advanced, and I've had to denounce them no matter who they are, and I've been doing that. Our government is definitely at fault in what I've gone through. So there's treason. They've committed treason. They've committed participation in organised crime. They've used me, coded me, and some of their videos has been a coded tactic to let their followers know. But it's really evil. It's a real evil way to secretly destroy and take over somebody's religion or somebody's belief, or a body corporate or a person they want to eliminate. The inciting is that it's coded. And yes, I've actually listened to the radio or television, and to my horror, even listened in them inciting hits on social media, to my horror. And I just know I've had to denounce my experience publicly. So that is what I've gone through personally, and I'll keep doing that. It's working, okay, which is really good. It's good. Once everyone starts to wake up how this new age system is, because they've centralized everything, which means anyone can be locked out. Anyone can be slowly but surely go through what I've gone through without even realizing that someone is trying to kill them. I've known that for a long time. Common sense is, if the systems let you down, going back as far as for me, in 2010, when I used a protected disclosure with the courts, and no one did nothing, they left me in there. Over time, people move on with their life, but the criminal tactics to keep me down or keep me from progressing or from me rising, that has not stopped, meaning I'm going out in public even now, and I can easily spot the opponent doing the organised crime indirectly, psychologically and mentally abusing me or making threats indirectly. So it is definitely a very serious system, a serious case that I'm going through. So don't take anything I say lightly. These are the kind of things that it's my word against theirs. So you'd be going through this, like you'd be thinking to yourself, something's not right about that. Well, I suggest you just listen to your own gut instincts when there's a pattern, and learning how to read your circumstances within your environment and realizing that you may be targeted or in a hostile situation. The contamination is really serious. You can easily be lured into a death trap. And today there's a lot of car accidents going on that are not actually accidents, and people don't even know that they can be easily lured into a death trap. You can be easily poisoned, and that's why I've had to put all the laws together and interpret it in plain English for those that don't understand the laws, because the laws are not easy to be interpreted. So I'm interpreting them, linking them to my personal circumstances, my court cases, and everything that I'm going through. But obviously, I can personally confirm that what I've been going through has been a combination of different secret societies. It's been a combination of extremists in my personal space. Some have attacked me because of my religious belief, or others have attacked me because of money laundering, or they're using me for relationship scam. So basically I've had to use the Bible to kind of denounce what everyone is doing. And basically I'm not one of these I'm not one of these extremists with being a Christian. I am a Christian. I'm definitely a Christian, but I'm just sharing my experience with, in my faith that I believe in. I am definitely a Christian, and I believe in the gospel of Jesus Christ, but I believe that people have attacked me because of my religion. Others have gone to the extreme where they've broken laws and dug up my past and to use it against me. So basically, I'm just trying to describe the cybercrime and the criminal tactics and this new age system. They've turned me into a product, okay? And then they've compared me with the people that they've used as a substitute for the purpose to downgrade, whether to downgrade me. They'd like to select people that are younger or better looking or skinny, and then they compare me. So they're promoting the substitute and then they're demoting the originals, basically focusing on their flaws and whatever it is that they do that they disagree on. They're defaming them or pretending or making up public innuendo that is not true. So if you're into criminology, my case is that kind of a case where it's so intimate and personal, and I'm the victim to it, and this is my story, my criminal case. So I don't feel in my heart to give up. I do feel in my heart to expose the tactics of the opponents. Unfortunately, it's internal corruption. And it's by different people globally, okay? And I'm talking about different countries attacking one individual, okay? I'm talking about they hide themselves, and it's all about their businesses, obviously, okay? So this is their community. So the system has set out where everything that I do goes, I don't know, somewhere in government. Instead of anything I do privately, everybody's got their foot into everything. And it's privacy breaches, okay? And then they're just encoding and helping each other. The deceitfulness of it all is that these countries and these states, to them, I'm a product. I'm a product, but I'm also a threat to their body corporates or to their businesses because of the breaches that their businesses have committed in order to sabotage or for them to win. And it's so dangerous because my whole environment, people have taken turns monitoring me and acting out my private life, okay? And it's linking to the relationship scams. And that's why I've had to denounce stuff also to do with Henry Cavill, because we are both fighting for our lives. We are both fighting for our property. But this is what the game entails. So I've had to denounce all that, meaning even if I don't make it, I know that those that are criminal judges or criminal lawyers can easily pick up my case and then prosecute everyone accordingly. But it is really intimate, okay? That's a deceitfulness of what they've done to me secretly. I can undo everything accurately because it's about me. To the opponent, I am the enemy. Okay, if you've been watching all the laws that I've put up, those are the laws that these people are secretly breaking. Okay, but you're talking about. It's such a cowardice. I call it cowardice because they're all ganging up on me, and the defamation is inhumane, and the way they've taken over my personal property or my life or what they've used me for, words cannot even describe the evilness of it all. Okay. But I have to, everybody is an individual. Even if you're born a twin, you're still an individual. You have an individual right as a citizen or as an individual, whatever it may be. So I am an individual, and I'm just basically denouncing anything that opposes to me. So yes, I've been used for illegal Commonwealth game. I have found the abuse is so intimate, and they've used different extremists in my family. It's almost like they're using extremists in your family as if they're the ones who have an authority to make a decision about me secretly without my permission. Okay, that's illegal. So to this day, I haven't signed my power of authority to anyone. However, the game does lure in your innocent family members without them realizing what they've been actually used for, and that what they're actually being used for is illegal and can backfire on them in a crime scene. So that's the risk of what a conspiracy, this kind of illegal Commonwealth conspiracy. These agents or these foreign people, whoever they are behind the grooming, are paying them money to do what they're doing, and then they're criminally grooming people's ego or people's pride, so they think they're getting something out of it, or people would do anything just for fame or for money, and they don't really care about the consequences until it faces them. Till they're actually faced with a criminal charge or something. Others go into a heart attack because of the shock. So that's the danger of this game, is people don't realize that they're actually breaking really serious laws, and that they are probably being misguided by the people that are using them, because that's what some of these agents are doing. They are just using people and just for their own, whatever it is they're using them for, whether it's to be an informant or to sabotage something or to be a mouthpiece. But that's what you call criminal grooming. So I found that different countries, or different, like Asian, India, Maldives, white supremacists, they've used different people to do their dirty work for them. But it is an illegal Commonwealth game. To them, I'm the target. So I've suffered greatly because of what they've done. And this is what happens in between the twinning and the switching, It's serious. I'm telling you, if they're putting little things or in your personal space, like objects or just things like that, don't ignore it. It means that somebody is targeting you. And I have found that my serial cyber criminal alliance are that confident that they've put their objects in my space to let me know that they're that close to me and that I'm targeted. Don't ignore it. It means you're targeted. It means you can easily just go out on your own business, and it means they, in their mind, they're going to target you or they're going to personally do something to take you down. So don't ignore those kind of little tactics, okay? It's like your word against them, but you just know in your conscience that something's not right. So this is how personal everything has been for me historically. This even includes my court cases. So I've been fighting against my court cases because of the judgments are written. I know without a shadow of doubt they're false statements, and that so my cases is to do with false statements and perjury and felony has committed in my cases, making it very difficult for me to go forward, and the opponent has the upper hand globally. So I know will probably always be a targeted person. So I've just got to go with the flow as things happen. So yes, definitely a slave. Honest to God, in all my life working for the government, I never, ever thought I'd be experiencing these laws personally, and actually can confirm from my personal circumstances that I have been used like a slave secretly. So all the graphic designs that I've put together, they are my interpretation of what they're doing to me according to the laws. Okay, but yes, this is what they're doing. It is the penalty is 14 years imprisonment. Being a slave in New Zealand is illegal. So that's why you need to be consistent with what your suspicion, whatever it may be, where you feel like you are a slave or just things not going your way. Unfortunately, this law, if you look in the legislation in regards to dealing with slaves, I'm a female, so all the females are in trouble. They can be easily be coerced into a slave system. It's really, 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 really serious. Okay, but the penalty is 14 years imprisonment. It's that intimate. It's soul. I have found the system as being a soul destroying system. Words can't describe the when they do the opposite of what I do. Like, it doesn't matter how right you are. You can do everything right, and then they've just declined it or go against you. But it's the pain and the suffering is inhumane. Okay, so the intimacy is wrong. Them being connected, it's like whatever I say, they're doing the opposite. That's the best way I can describe what they're doing. And sometimes some of the things they're acting, they're referring to me as being a rubbish. Okay, they're actually acting it out in their cybercrime, or they are acting out, body parts or whatever it is, intentionally. They know I'm watching, and the indirect, the timing of what they're doing, everything. I mean, even the timing, it's like, how do you know I'm going to be looking that way? They just know because you've been monitored. They're glued to your emotions spiritually, and they're connected to everything you are doing. And I have felt that they get a pleasure of seeing me going down. And I have found when things are positive, they're angry, and they'll let me know they're furious. So it's a real life illegal Commonwealth game where other secret societies globally are connected to somebody's soul. Your intent is to steal, okay? So that's what I've gone through. So I've had to actually denounce everything globally. So unfortunately, to undo my kind of a case where the opponent doesn't want anything about me to be dug up, they don't want my cases to be dug up in the criminal jurisdiction. So that's why to them I'm a threat, okay? And yes, they've made death threats. Their intention, they expect me to die somehow. So they've all continued taking turns sabotaging to make sure I don't advance. That's what I'm going through personally. Globally, I mean, it's the most inhumane global game ever in any humanity. So I'm just going with my court cases because that's all I can do to save my life. And I'll go over that in a moment. So basically, it's illegal in the Crimes Act for the police or for the government agencies or anybody corporate who fails to protect a child or vulnerable adults. I would be classified as a vulnerable adult, and I would also be classified as a vulnerable adult working for my employer with the Ministry of Justice going back to 2009, 10 when I did the protected disclosure. So it means it knows that the victim is at risk of death or grievously bodily harm or a sexual act as the result of an unlawful act by another person, fails to take responsible steps to protect the victim from the risk, etc. Unfortunately, we're talking about good cops, bad cops here. So keep that in mind that, that still exists today in every generation. In fact, it's worse today because now they just hide behind their keyboard and do their abuse indirectly and psychologically. That's how they've done to me. That's what animate or inanimate is, where they've made me live in limbo. And their intention is for me to never get justice or to undo anything and everything. Home invasion and tax evasion, I can prove everything. I can undo everything legally. If God allows it, I'd like to do that because I feel that I need to do that. So I'm just going to take one day at a time. Okay, reality, spiritually speaking, to undo everything, I'm the victim of the preachers, okay? This verse here says, an ungodly man digs up evil and it's on his lips like a burning fire. That is so true. Going back to when I was at church, when I put in the protective disclosure, I did that because I knew people from my work was passing on my private activities to people at church, and then it was coming over the pulpit. That is what you call a privacy breach, and I'm so sad that nobody did nothing about it. But that is a privacy breach, and is also the start of a conspiracy to take over somebody's personal space, and it endangers everyone, okay? I've had to denounce all this because people don't even know what a breach is. So that is what a breach is, was when somebody has disclosed something publicly without your permission. What they're saying is true, but it's also that they shouldn't be saying that because it's none of their business and you haven't given them permission to dig up whatever it is. I mean, you should be able to go to work and not have your private life secretly exploited by other people, because that's wrong, okay? So the coding and even implying to anything to do with your private life, that is defamation, and that is also a privacy breach. So biblically speaking, I've had a lot of Christians judge me, but this, I believe the word of God has been misinterpreted by many people, and they use the word of God as like the law. I've researched everything, and I've just asked God. I mean, I'm so overwhelmed with what God has brought me out of and God made me go through. And there's a verse in First Corinthians. I'll just have a look at it. Okay, there's a verse in First Corinthians verse 3, verse 6, where it says the letter kills and it's the spirit that gives life. That actually means without the Holy Spirit, you may be in danger of being deceived, meaning you need to find God for yourself. You need to wait. Like some of the things has taken me years to actually understand what it actually means. And also keep in mind, this is to do with my private life. So don't judge me and don't compare yourself to me, because everybody's circumstances is different and God uses everyone in different ways. But this is my testimony, and I just know I'm within my right to clarify and to interpret the word according to my life and what I've gone through. But I believe that verse means the letter kills and the spirit gives life, obviously, because without the Holy Spirit cannot give you an understanding of what the actual verses mean. So, and we also know everybody's circumstances, culture, and environment is different. God uses everyone differently, but this is my personal experience. The letter kills means that a lot of people are just using the Bible or the verses, and that can be easily misinterpreted as if that is the only way in God's law. But the laws, what people has to remember, that the laws overrides the Bible in the sense of legal terminology, meaning if you break the law, you can still get into trouble, if you know what I mean, obviously, because without the law actually separates people's beliefs and their interpretation of what the actual law means. Like the law is what we have to obey, obviously, and so meaning like a lot of, I'm just trying to, I don't want to offend anyone, but I must speak how I feel, because I feel I'm within my right to do that, because I'm talking about my own testimony here. So people have used some people have used the word of God incorrectly. Not only that, everyone's circumstances is different. Like I know I have definitely have had a different path to many people with what I've gone through personally, and I can prove that legally and personally and publicly. So I've had to denounce, or just that what I am talking about is only purely to do with me, nobody else. So you don't have to believe what I'm saying. You may even find me offensive. I know a lot of people have find me offensive because I'm different. But in saying that, it doesn't matter if you find somebody offensive or you don't agree with them. It's the laws that everyone globally has to abide to. So if you step out of the laws, and if somebody competent can prove you've broken those laws, you can be arrested. Okay, so but this verse here is so true. Historically, people within the government have dug up my past, or not just people in government, just different people, different secret societies, to use against me, or to find out what about me. The other thing I have found, okay, is some other religions are using the Bible to condemn those of good heart or goodwill, against to try and make them feel bad, or to make them change their mind or whatever. So that's why it's really important, just to wait on God for what is for you, and to learn to hear the Holy Spirit speak to you, or just to get to know the difference. ask God to confirm things, and I believe God. I have my own way of my own personal walk with God, and I'm just interpreting the word based on my own life and my own personal experience. And I know that my life is an offense to many people, and saying that my life belongs to God and it's my life, and I know that I am supposed to be doing what I'm doing because of the court cases too, that too must be done properly. So I'll just carry on. So basically, this illegal scientific experiment that the government or other people have done on me secretly is wicked, okay? It is evil. So on the receiving end of their games and what they've done to me, according spiritually, their soul is, the Bible says here in Proverbs 21:10, the soul of the wicked desires evil. Okay, so I've had to kind of denounce all that because that's what I'm up against. I'm up against other religions and other cultures judging me, which is so totally unfair. The pain and suffering, like money couldn't compensate what I've gone through, but now I do understand why the laws are the way they were in the beginning. So basically, in reality, people have dug up my soul to use up against me or everything that I'm going through. So I'm basically fighting for my liberty, obviously, and everything about myself, my personal property. But I'm basically just relating the verses and the laws to do with what everyone has done to me personally. Okay, so according to the laws, I better finish soon. I didn't realize the time. This verse here, Proverbs 6:16-19. These are God's laws. Okay, this is how would you determine whether somebody is breaking the laws against you as an individual. So if you can look all these verses up, but this is what the laws are related to. Personally, these are God's laws. But this is God's laws actually describing a human being with their motives and their intentions of their heart. Okay, so I believe the laws are based on human rights and the liberty of a person, basically based on the gospel of Jesus Christ. He is the character I believe that everyone should be following. Don't follow me. I may not be your cup of tea, and but I'm just all I'm doing is just confirming my testimony and my own belief in the gospel of Jesus Christ. So unfortunately, with what I've gone through personally, the oppression and it's been personal and intimate, and the abuse of doing everything right for it to go against you has been inhumane. It's affected me, my mental injury. I've gone through all the mental injury or the internal abuse that a person would go through with being indirectly abused, the negligence, the rejection, and from doing everything right and only to have it go against you, even though you know in your heart you've done everything right. Is you are being personally tormented and tortured and being persecuted indirectly or and directly by the opponents. It's severe. I've been doing ACC, and my ACC's been granted, and in regards to what I've gone through because of the mental injury, it's hard to describe what I've gone through, but it has definitely, because of the abuse and the length of time of what everyone has used me for, it has damaged not only my personal property, but it has damaged me mentally. It has, like, there's nothing, I'm fine, as you can hear by my voice. There's nothing wrong with me, but I have developed mental injury from what I've gone through, and it's quite serious. So sometimes I would react in anger or rage because of the abuse, or something could trigger it. So that's something I didn't have before, but that is what the psychological mental abuse of being exiled intentionally, and secretly being abused, and being taken down spiritually, financially, and just the opponent secretly trying to take everything away or destroying everything. So my case, definitely the crimes of torture. This is the man's laws. This is the laws of the legislation that covers what I've gone through, or anyone that's gone through psychological or mental abuse or direct abuse. That comes under the Crimes Act 1989. So this here is when a case like myself, where there's evidence to prove that I'm the victim, a strict and absolute liability offence is admissible to commit, to press criminal charges against those that are participating in it. So this here is what I'd classify as man's laws, or the laws that every man on the land, whether you're in government or whether you're in public office or you're a person in the public, this law is for everyone. So no one is above the law. Okay, no one. I'm even our prime ministers, those politicians. None of them are above the law. All the laws that I've been used, it's applicable to them too. So if you're in public office and you're committing these laws, you can expect to be charged with the fullest extent of the law. But as you can see, the danger it is for being a plaintiff, or they call me a whistleblower. There's nothing in law that allows anyone to kill anyone just for telling the truth, because that's what I'm up against. So spiritually speaking, this is what the Bible would call the soul of the wicked desires evil. I have found there has been an obsession where I have felt the opponent are so glued to what I'm doing that anything positive they're stealing, or gradually stealing, or they want to keep me in a position where get me depressed, or always fighting, trying to get myself out of what I've gone through. So that is what has happened to me historically. But I can confirm I'm healing. I'm dealing with things like I should be, and just going forward and taking one day at a time. All right, guys, so I'm going to update everybody to do with my Court of Appeal. The judges and the Court Deputy Registrar are aware that my case is a public, and it's international, okay, because I've had to do this because I've exhausted the system. My case has been going on for nearly 10 years this year, to be confirmed. And I've been challenging the unlawful strikes. So at the moment I'm with the higher court. I know I've won every single case. I can guarantee you, I can promise you, I have won every single case. I have exhausted the system. My case has gone through about over 19 judges. Okay, keep that in mind. So I'm dealing with New Zealand Police and IPCA in the Court of Appeal, and it hasn't been an easy situation for me personally, because I feel like I have lost everything, and I don't feel I'm fighting a losing battle, because it is actually giving me the satisfaction doing what I'm doing, because I know it's the right thing to do. Okay, and also is to help others too for themselves with this new system. I find the system is really appalling. So what's happened is there was a hearing that was set down to be heard by two different judges. So the judges are aware what I'm going through, and a decision was supposed to be made on the week of the 13th of July hang on, it says here the wording, like my concern is the prolonging of everything, okay? I am saying I'm fighting for my life. I'm saying my life is in danger. I'm saying my life is a matter of life and death. But they're ignoring everything I'm saying. That is because of the foreign agents. The way the system's set out is the agents are, or is, I don't know how they're doing it, but this is the new age system where I'm locked out, and it's my word against theirs. Okay, so it says here, will be determined on papers by 2 judges sitting at the Court of Appeal, Wellington, in the week of 13th. So you can see here, it says it's the week of the 13th of July 2026. As this matter will be determined on papers, there will be no oral hearing and no appearance before the court will be required. Okay, so that's where I'm at, and I've contacted the courts in regards to my cases, and the courts have notified me and let me know, because I the first week, second week, I waited for a judgment to come through. So a judgment has not been made yet, but I have been advised that it's going to take up to 3 months for the judgment to be released. I find that is a danger to myself, especially with how serious my situation is. But obviously we all know it's all about money, okay? It's about money and the illegal Commonwealth game that's going on, and also the relationship scam, and it's all about personal property. Yes, a lot of body corporates are in duress because of what I've gone through. So to them, I'm the opponent. So I'm just updating you guys with what I've gone through. So keep in mind, this here is one of the judges, if you can see. They know that my case is gone global, or it's on my YouTube channel. So it's good for them to to understand. And I know that I've got a lot of good people watching over me. Thank you. But as the victim in this case, I've needed intervention, and obviously it's working. And also to help everybody to understand the laws. So keep in mind, everyone, that a criminal judge and a civil judge, they have different warrants. It doesn't mean that their understanding for criminal cases are not the same as a criminal judge, because a criminal judge has a different warrant to a civil judge. Let's see what else I've got here. These are just the filing letters. The other thing, my concern of what I found really, really unfair for what's happened to me is I have felt I am applying for applications, right, legally, and they've been declined. Or I have felt secret societies are secretly stealing my applications for themselves, if you know what I mean. That is what I've gone through personally, and I find that very concerning and unfair. Okay, I better finish up soon. But it is definitely participating in organised group 1998. So that is what I've been subject to historically. And unfortunately, I'm hoping that things will change for the better for everyone. But the court system, this is what I'm going through personally, and it is the new age court system. It's horrific. It's inhumane. I don't in my heart, I feel at peace that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is my challenge, being outside of the court system or the government system. And this is my challenge to survive what I'm going through personally, to go forward. Okay, okay, guys, I think I better leave it there. I'm sorry it's gone on too long. but I know that's my videos are worth it. So at this point of time, it's all about money and property, and I'm just fighting for my own property and my life, obviously. So I'm just taking one day at a time. I'm reconnecting slowly, and making new friends, which is good. I've gone back to Church of Christ New Zealand and Mount Roskill. I'm just taking one day at a time, and I'm just hoping, I'm just going for doing what is best for me, putting my own interest and my own family first. At this point in time, I'm just taking one day at a time. So I'm just going to end it here. So welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. My name is Minna Crichton. I'm the narrator of this video clip and every other video clip on my YouTube channel, keeping in mind that it is an exhibit for my court case, and I will notify and let everyone know of the outcome for my the result from the judge. The courts have notified me, because like I said, I don't know how the system works. I'm just going with it. So the update is that I've been notified by the courts that it takes, I think it's 3 months. Let me just check. Yes, the courts have notified me to let me know that it takes up to 3 months to write a judgment. Anything can happen in 3 months, okay? Like anything. We're all talking about money. They don't want to compensate me because I'm entitled to it. Legally, by law, that's my entitlement. But we're talking about body corporate. We're talking about corporate breaches, and we're talking globally here, okay? We're talking about the secretly stealing people's entitlement as far as the law is concerned. So according to the law, I'm the victim of this case, not the Crown. The Crown is not the victim, okay? They're the opponent, and they, just because of they've got their law degrees, whatever, they're not above the law, okay? All right, I better finish it there. Thanks for watching, everyone. So keep in mind, spiritually speaking, I'm in a warfare spiritually against the opponent, and that's how it's been for me, spiritually speaking, since I was with the Church of Christ, before everything took place, going back to 2006 when the breaches first started. So spiritually speaking, this is what the warfare I've been up against, and I've just basically interpreted so everyone can understand the warfare that I'm up against, fighting for my liberty and my property. So take care, and don't take anything I say lightly, and I'm just going to keep on. I have found that my Facebook page and my YouTube channel has been more like my it's been my, where I've had to basically, just because I'm so private, you won't know me unless I intermingle or contact or we talk together or anything like that. But I found it more like it's been my lifeline is the word. That's right. But the experience is real, and I will keep on denouncing anything that I find as part of a global game linking to what I'm going through. So stay safe, and yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Thanks, everyone. Bye.